gosh, look at that gooey center. It's all cooked, but it's really gooey in terms of the texture, and that just melts in your mouth. Hi, I'm Hanbit, and I'm a pastry chef from Korea. Hi everyone, it's Hanbit here. Today, I'll show you how to make an amazing Basque cheesecake. I love Basque cheesecakes. I love them as much as I love New York cheesecakes, or even more. I love the caramelized top, and I love the tender and the soft texture inside. I just want to take a moment and run through the different types of cheesecakes because I think it's actually quite confusing. First is the baked cheesecake, where the most common type would be the New York cheesecake. You can either use a water bath or not when you bake them, but you're essentially baking them in the oven and hence baked cheesecakes. The second type is the burnt cheesecake, which would be the Basque cheesecake. You do bake it in the oven, but not only do you bake it at extremely high temperatures above 200 degrees Celsius, but because you bake it at such a high temperature, you're actually burning the top of the cake and hence burnt cheesecake. The third type is the souffle cheesecake, and the final type is the rare cheesecake. Now we'll look at the characteristics. The baked cheesecake or the New York cheesecake is characterized by its biscuit base. Not always, but usually you would have sour cream as an ingredient. Overall, the texture will be quite dense and heavy. With the Basque cheesecake, you'll have the caramelized top due to the high temperature. You will control the baking time so that you would burn the outside and keep the inside creamy and soft. The souffle cheesecake is super light and airy thanks to the meringue that goes in. The simplest of all would be the rare cheesecake, which is a no-bake cheesecake, and if you don't have an oven, this would be your best option. Right, so today I'm going to show you how to make the Basque cheesecake. So before we start mixing the ingredients, we first have to prepare the pan, which is the most boring part. I've got a couple of parchment papers here today, and the reason for using 2 layers of parchment papers is that I don't want the sides to be caramelized too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crumple the parchment papers, unfold them, and line the inside of the pan. Right, so that's ready. I'm now going to start making the batter. Ingredients. As you can see here, the ingredients are extremely simple. You only have 5 ingredients and that's it. Plus maybe vanilla extract and vanilla seeds, but that's like 7. But taking them out, I only have 5. Cream cheese, sugar, fresh cream, eggs, flour or cornstarch, and a bit of vanilla, and that's it. One thing you need to remember before you start is that you want all your ingredients to be at room temperature. Just remember that. So my cream cheese is at room temperature. I'm just going to beat it lightly and make it smooth. The point of a Basque cheesecake is that you don't want to incorporate air into it. You just want it to mix everything so that the overall texture is smooth and silky, but not spongy. Sugar goes in. Just scraping the sides of the bowl. So now I'm going to gradually add in the eggs. I'm going to add in a few drops of vanilla extract. Now I'm left with fresh cream and cake flour. I'm going to add the cake flour into the fresh cream and then add that into the batter. It just makes it easier to mix everything together. Now adding the fresh cream and flour. So at this point, I'm going to use my spatula rather than using my hand mixer because I think I'll be putting too much air into it. Have you clicked like and subscribe? Oh yes, and I'm going to add in just a bit of vanilla. The reason I'm adding vanilla is it just adds another dimension of flavor, but I'm not going to add in too much of it because that's going to overpower the cheese. And the point of Basque cheesecake is the cheese, not the vanilla. That's pretty much all I'm going to use. That's it. The key step is to strain this batter, and you have to strain it because you want a smooth, silky Basque cheesecake. And finally, that goes in. If you feel that you've added in too much air by mistake and you see too many air bubbles, you can use a blowtorch and blow away and pop the air bubbles. Right, so look at this. This is Basque cheesecake right out from the oven. It's piping hot. You can see that it's extremely soft and it's wiggly. And that's how it should be. I'm going to let this cool outside for about half an hour to an hour and then put it in the fridge and try it tomorrow. Now here's my Basque cheesecake that I've left in the fridge overnight. It's set, so I'm going to apply some glaze to make it look nice and then try it. Just look at that gooey center. It's all cooked, but it's really gooey in terms of the texture, and that just melts in your mouth. Look at that. Just look at this texture. Best dessert ever. Well, I hope this video on Basque cheesecake was useful, and I'll come back with another amazing recipe. Until then, thank you very much. 감사합니다.